Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Knights of the Raj, coming courtesy on the live stream LB24 television. We're here at this amazing exhibition. It's been running here for 5 months at the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery and the centre of Birmingham City. And we are here to explore the culture and history of the Indian curry trade. And this event today that we're live streaming, we're going to be going into the event in a short while. Basically, it's a grand finale of this event that's been happening over these past couple of months. It's been a highly successful event. It's been a runaway success, unprecedented here in the Birmingham Museum, curated by Muhammad Ali and tracking the history of the Bangladeshi restaurant trade. So we're going to take you into the event. You're going to see some live interviews. You're going to see some live speeches as well. We have some distinguished guests who are going to be in the vicinity as well. So stay tuned to LB24. We have loads of great information, loads of great stuff coming for you, and all happening here on LB24. So I'm here with the founder of Nights of the Raj, Muhammad Ali from Soul City Arts, and the curator of this Nights of the Raj event. Muhammad, 5 months down the line, the event's about to come to a close, and you're about to close the Nights of the Raj exhibition. What's been the journey over to here and the year that you've been working on it already?
It's been an emotional roller coaster. This is more than just a museum exhibition. This is about people's lives. This is about reality of a community, of an entire community. How we have trodden the path and where we are going to. All of this is really the things that we're exploring here. This isn't about just nice kind of feel-good experiences and going and seeing nice things hanging on a wall. This is about real people, about the struggles, about people like my father, my late father, and others as well, people of my father's generation. So again, it isn't even just a personal kind of journey for me. That's a big part of it, but it's about me sharing something of mine to the wider society, wider community. It's connected people who are associated with the Bangladeshi community, as well as, of course, the community itself. The story that it tells of the Bangladeshi, of the restaurant community. This is something that transcends cultural barriers. Curry is something that binds this nation, in fact, right? And looking at the very story, I always describe it as, this is the story that Britain never was told. This is a story that was hidden. This is a story that was suppressed. Now we have opened the doors. This is how significant this is for this country and for this nation, England, UK, Great Britain, and Bangladesh. This is something that has been heard of across the globe. There's interest from New York to take this. I'm going literally in a few weeks, that's the plan, to Bangladesh, right? To other places. London is beckoning as well. All of these places want this story and are hungry for it. Because this, honestly, this is a historic moment. It's, forgive the pun, but really we are making history here. We have history here in our hands, but we are making history just by having this in this museum. So this is really quite extraordinary.
And how do you feel now, 5 months down the line, seeing the results, seeing the people come through? It's been a runaway success here at Birmingham Museum and Arts Gallery. How do you feel about some of the experiences that people have had while they've been here at this event?
As I said, it's quite emotional. I feel drained emotionally, but also reinvigorated as well, because I've seen the power of telling people stories. I've seen the sparkle in the eye of what we call the murabbis, the elders. In Bengali we say the elders that have been on this journey and have kept these stories locked inside their heads, right? And suddenly for someone like me to turn up and say, Sasa, tell me your story. Sasa, afnara story kho kamare. Ami huntam sairam. I want to give you respect because you haven't been given respect. We can give lip service and say respect our elders, but real respect is sitting with them, extracting their stories and preserving their stories for people to see in hundreds of years' time. That's real respect.
Muhammad Ali, have a great rest of your event, grand finale, and we're going to be reporting from the event very shortly. Thank you very much. So I'm here with Mahi Jalil, one of the founders of Channel S, Bangladeshi TV here in the UK. Mahi, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us at Nights of the Raj. What's been your experiences of this exhibition so far, and how do you feel walking around the exhibition and that the exhibition is finishing today?
First thing, I'm pleased to be here. Second thing is, obviously, it's a very rich cultures how the Bangladeshi came in Britain and started. Obviously, not going to be just seeing from a small exhibitions or examples of it, but I would say there was a Shongrami Bengali. There was much stronger, and they done their Shongram better than us, and they established for this. Firstly, I want to say the people behind the scene who organize these exhibitions, thanks to them, and they bring some lights to our society, and people can measure how the Bengali started, not only Birmingham, throughout the whole country. I think this is a beginning, and that I hope they will do bigger ones in London and other places. Yeah. So the youngsters, as a legacy, the new generation can see how the Bengali came in, how the Indian restaurant started, and how far we went through.
So, from the media industry yourself, do you see some parallels in terms of the curry and the catering industry and the media industry in terms of the struggles, in terms of the similar journeys?
It is similar, but on 21st century, it's much less and less harder in 21st century, but we're talking about 20th century. In 70 years ago was totally different. So I don't think there is a parallel, right. But there is a struggle, I understand, in the media, but it's a very difficult comparison to do.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of your experience of seeing the exhibition, how would you describe your own experience of walking through the exhibition and seeing some of the things that the Soul City Arts team have put on?
Well, no, I feel homely. It reflects the true history and the cultures, how the Bengali started. That's the first point. The second point was that the Bengali, when they came, they struggled. And the clear evidence there was a struggle. And for them, today they're second generation. Every householder is a graduate now. They all educated, doctors, engineers, pilots, you name it. This community where 70 years ago, it's not longer there. We have achieved far and we moved forward in our life. As I said, that was part of our legacy. We must remember this.
Excellent. Great progression then, and it's great to see you here at Knights of the Raj. Mahi, thank you very much for your time.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Take care. Thank you. Hi guys, I'm here with Oli Khan. He is the Secretary General of the Caterers Association here in Birmingham and representing lots of Bangladeshi restaurants in the vicinity as well, right? So Oli, tell me a little bit about your impressions of Knights of the Raj. What's made you come today? And you've seen the exhibition. How's it been for you to see the history of Bangladeshi restaurants?
It's fantastic. Knights of the Raj, something that initiative has taken by Muhammad Ali, I think should be taken long time ago. Because this is something the British curry houses that never been come out of their heritage. So the heritage that a lot of the people would know that like how our forefather, our grandfather have established this industry. And now we have 12,000 curry houses. And the curry industry is a huge industry that contributes 4.2 billion to the British economy every year. So it's a huge industry, and this sort of initiative was taken by Muhammad Ali is fantastic. I think it should be taken on every town, every major towns, so that people can see what is the history behind the curry houses.
Yeah. So you've been to the exhibition, you've seen some of the historical facts and some of the exhibition artifacts that have been presented in the Birmingham Museum Art Gallery. Have you ever seen anything like this before in a museum, something documented on the migration of a whole generation of people who have brought something quite unique, their curry, their food, their culinary expertise to a country?
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anything like this before, but this is something what really attracted me. And when I was talking to George Galloway, he was sitting next to me, and then like we are having a chat with the great British curry industry. Yeah. And the things that like, it reminds me of my 30 years back, that when I came to this country, and then when I saw a lot of the things that, it reminds me like, it's something that, I missed, A lot of things has been changed over the time, but this is something like, it came up, and a lot of people would know that how the people have actually worked hard to establish this industry. So it's fantastic.
Do you feel it's a true reflection of the struggles that maybe Bangladeshis went through some of the migration that they've been through, maybe even documenting some of the struggles that they've been through as well? Do you think the exhibition's been a true kind of reflection of what people went through?
It's absolutely, it's 100% true, because you can see the reality. When I went to the main exhibition hall, and if you go to the kitchen area, there is a sound at the background, and which really gives you the the reminder of like how the industry people have like suffered a lot, and how hard work they have actually put towards this industry. So it's a true reflection of the British curry industry.
Fantastic. And very quickly, what's your organization and what's the background? How did you get into the curry industry yourself?
Yeah, myself as a professional, I'm a chef. I have worked really hard for this industry, and then when I saw that there is a lot of lacking in the industry, that and I think that I need to join within the industry, so that represent the industry. So I joined the Bangladesh Caterers Association, who represent 12,000 curry houses in this country, and it's like they are the mother of all organization, I say, because it was established in 1960. So that time it was like before even Bangladesh born. So that encourages me, and then I joined this industry, and then I followed my predecessors, and then I learned a lot of history about the curry industry, and then it gives me motivations. Then I joined this industry, and then one day I become a leader. Now I'm representing Bangladesh Caterers Association as a Secretary General. So it's a huge achievement.
Fantastic, and it's a real honor for us to have you here at this event, representing, like you said, the 12,000 Bangladeshi restaurants in the whole of the UK. So thank you for coming in and endorsing Knights of the Raj, and we're glad that you've taken something away from it. Oli, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, take care. I'm here with Shaleem, a restaurateur from London. He's come all the way down to Birmingham to have a conversation with us, see what the event's happening here at Knights of the Raj, the grand finale event. You're from a Taste of Asia, right? Pride of Asia, that's the one, not the taste. Well, you give the taste, taste comes from there as well. There you go, fantastic. Shaleem, tell us a bit about your experience of Knights of the Raj. What do you think of the event, and how has this kind of culminated in your experience of the restaurateur business as well?
Well, I'm involved in this business for the last 25 years. Yeah. And this is such an amazing event, Knights of the Raj. this brother who organized it, he done an amazing job, which is, thousands of Bangladeshi people are involved in this trade.
Yeah.
And we are, mashallah, success, all making money out of it. We're doing a lot of things for our country and lot of establishment here. Our second generation are growing much, much bigger. They're doing a lot of other things. But no, everyone forgetting our forefathers who started this for us. Because of this forefather who started this trade and the struggle they did back in the days, today he is the one who is recognizing this. We are looking at the back, 70 years back, what we done and how they started. And I really feel good, which is wonderful to thanking the previous people.
So you're looking at the previous generations of people who have come from, like you said, your forefathers, the Bangladeshi forefathers who've come here as restaurateurs, bringing their culinary experience with them. You're a restaurateur yourself as well. So tell us a little bit about how your experience relates directly to the Nights of the Raj, because you see, the history of the Bangladeshi curry. Do you share the same history that's been exhibited at this event?
Exactly, all same. Back in 25 years back, when I went to the restaurant first time, and came into the exhibition today, I can remember everything 25 years back, what I seen, the bedroom of the staff quarter, the kitchen, how it was, the setup of the table, olden days, everything is same. And it's a good memory.
So you see the bedroom that illustrates how Bangladeshi workers used to work in the restaurant. It's very small kitchens, very small, living quarters and sleeping quarters. So that rings a bell with you straight away. You see that and you think, wow, that's some of the struggle that I went through myself. Is that something you went through yourself?
Of course, I went through myself, but obviously on our time, 25 years back, it was quite easy. The forefather, what they done about 35, 40 years back, they had to fight for their life. They worked really hard.
Real pioneers of the curry industry. And now, like you said, 25 years, 30 years later, curry is a national dish of the UK. And how do you feel about that? How do you feel that the permeating nature of curry and of Bangladeshi food in the whole of the UK, not just in the Bangladeshi community, but extended across the board in society?
This Bangladeshi food become British national curry dish. And I feel proud of it. Because what we're doing, what we've done, this gone to the British tongue, and everyone's loving it.
There you go. It's great food, and that's why it gets the recognition. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your experiences with us. So we are here at the culminating event, the grand finale of Nights of the Raj. I'm here with Jazz Sansi, who's here as a guest. He's also visited the exhibition over the past couple of months. So the event's been on for 5 months here at Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery. Jazz, tell us a little bit about your impressions of the event, maybe some things that you've taken away. How has the general experience been coming to Nights of the Raj?
I think very positive. It's great to see an exhibition like this. I can't imagine ever seeing an exhibition about Indian restaurants and the history of those and how they came to the city anywhere in the UK. I used to work in Indian restaurants as a student years and years ago. But the great thing about this exhibition is that it's very modern, very recent history. But yeah, very positive. Yeah.
So when you heard about history of Bangladeshi restaurants and Indian restaurants in the UK, is there anything that you've taken away that you've learned about Indian restaurants that maybe you didn't know before you came to Nights of the Raj?
Well, what's fascinating is that the Bangladeshi community, they chose to go into business and into the Indian restaurant business, whereas other Asian communities who came from India and the subcontinent at the same time, they went into heavy foundry work. I mean, my parents certainly did. It's interesting how the different cultures did that, and they really put Indian food on the map. Fascinating. I mean, their contribution to Indian food it has now become staple British food, hasn't it?
It has. It's become the national dish of the UK as well. So in terms of events like Nights of the Raj that capture the heritage of things like Indian restaurants, the curry trade, and migration as well of Southeast Asians moving over to the UK and bringing something to the country, what would you say is the importance of events like these?
It's a great strategy, a great opportunity to bring people who may be a little bit wary of museums and art galleries and think, oh, they're not really for us, they're for middle class, British white people. They're not really for, working class people. It's a great way to bring people of diverse cultures. I mean, even white working class people who probably think that museum and galleries aren't really for them. Yeah. To bring them in and to expose them to other elements of art, I think it's brilliant.
Fantastic. Jazz, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm here with Mohammed Fazl Zuddin, and we're here to talk about your experience as the Vice Chair of the Bangladesh Catering Association. Tell us a little bit about your experience of Nights of the Raj and what brought you here today.
Well, the guy who's behind all this, Muhammad Ali, is my cousin brother. I was sort of brought up in back in '60s in Birmingham. I went to school in Birmingham, and then I worked for about 7-8 years in Birmingham. Then I moved back to London. That's what I live at the moment. The reason behind all this is to sort of bring back the memories and tell our next generation, about third, fourth, fifth generation running at the moment. They hardly know anything about their root, their forefathers, how we have come to this level. Back in 60s, 50s, even before my time, 50s, they have struggled so much. Even I myself struggled so much. We faced so much racism, all sorts of things. But luckily, we have overcome all this. We have established ourselves now that we, Bangladesh caterers, is the backbone of the community living in this country. And fortunately, as you have heard from a few others, our children are doing very well at the moment, and we look forward to this.
Fantastic.
This is all because of our hard work.
Thank you so much, Mohammed, for sharing your views, and welcome to the grand finale of Nights of the Raj. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mohammed?
I've got not much to say really, but we did it for 3.5 months. Told a story that Britain was never told. We've uncovered the biggest secret of curry in Britain that Britain was oblivious to. As people went and had their chicken tikka masala on a Friday night with their partners, wooing their girlfriends or their dates or whoever they were trying to impress, Britain was oblivious to the backstory of how curry came to this country. Right above their heads, the staff quarters, the busy kitchens behind those doors, the stories of those men, and often women as well, that were serving that dish in front of you. That story was all in here. And Britain was blind to it. Blind. I know it's a strong word to use. Restaurant sector, Britain's Bangladeshi restaurant community didn't share that story with you. Perhaps they didn't see the value in sharing their story. Who am I? What does it matter? My story. Why would they be interested in me? And I probably inherited some of that thinking from our parents. Amdar Murabbiyokhol. Forgive me if I dip into Bangla, because I think it's important that the Bangla language here in Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery echoes around the walls of this gallery, bounces around the walls of this gallery. Amdar Murabbiyokhol, o building or bitore amra story khoise. Our respected elders' story is venerated on the walls of Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery. Afnara shob doloison, the Murabbi. এটা হইলো একটা historic moment for আমরা আব্বা নখল, বাপ দাদাই নখল, দাদিন, আম্মা নখল, our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents, what they did for this country, what they did, how they served this nation. The Knights of the Raj. Someone asked me, what does it mean, Knights of the Raj? Kita lagi ta naam, Knights of the Raj. Knights of the Raj hoilo the knights, the soldiers, the heroes, the ones who had to put up with so much. They're the true knights that we are honoring and respecting today. And actually, someone on Twitter said to me just yesterday, my favorite tweet was, the knights, these knights, deserve a knighthood, right? They truly deserve, because their struggles we are oblivious to. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be standing here today with such opportunities. Sorry, I have to use the words khoshto, because you can't translate khoshto and really feel what that means. Am I right? Khoshto. When you translate that to hardship, it's not the same. Hardship khoshto, that's the only way you really understand that word. Khoshto khorsoin. And I mean, more or less 3 or 4 years now, I've been recording the stories of the Murabbis. Murabbis, I'm going to continue to do this live kind of glossary at the same time. Murabbis, respected elders. Let me emphasize the word respected, not just elders. As I've been knocking the doors of Murabbiyakol, I've been knocking on the doors, and I said to them, Afnar story amini tamsai. Kunu manish khoi boze, eh? Your story. Story. They would respond with, what for? What do you mean? You want old photographs, old menus, old transcripts, old deeds of restaurants. Ita bada sadidi kita hortai. That's what people would say to me. Ita falaya shesh. Amra monokhor sinmete rakar kunu laboibo. Lab kitoibo. One amra buzram. They would say, why? We didn't see the value of keeping these documents, these papers, and these deeds and maps and all of these things that now amra fostaidam. Now we regret that. Oh, we just threw it out in the trash a year ago. Do we have to agazu the aitai? Failan in a shop, tamda falechi. October Nights of the Raj, Kitalagi amra tadaino khol. Amra honor khotam saisi, respect khotam saisi. We finished today. But not just finished, we launched. I will share later with you why this is the beginning, not the end. This is significant for this country, for British people, for British Bangladeshi people, for everybody in this country. As we approach so-called curry crisis, Amrahuni, I've said it before at many a speech I've done over the past few months at all these curry conventions and curry awards. There ain't no curry crisis. We can fix that together because we can reinvigorate the interest, bring back the passion for curry. Because what you do now, when you have that curry, and I had a customer say this, I was in a restaurant one time, and he said, after hearing about this, he said, you know what, that was the best curry I ever had after hearing about these stories. Because not only is he a culinary experience where he's eating it, but he's got something here as well when he hears the story of how that curry came to him. That's something we forget. And I'm there a whole different catering associations, different catering awards. Every one of them is nearly represented in this room. And I think that's an achievement, that all of these catering awards have honored us with their presence. Many might say, thank you. Many might say that, oh, Itamdra, you know, what are the catering associations benefiting us? They are benefiting us. They are there. At least we can find some of the murabbis within them, and we can work with them. We can join them as the younger generations. We must, because otherwise this curry and the high street tandoori restaurant is going to die, the one that we know. If we don't save it, we don't work with it and nurture it so that my children know who my dad was, my late father, Watir Ali. Watir Ali of Shuitpur, Gobindganj, who owned the Rajput restaurant. Some of you are here who may know my father. I did it in his name, but not just his name, but every one of those friends that all of those people who have passed away. It isn't a selfish expression of my story and Amara Bas story. I'm the Shobor, I'm the community. We have to look beyond the self এটা খালি আমার নাই যে আমি আমার নাম বড় করতাম আমার আব্বার নাম বড় করতাম আমরা সব আমি চাইছিলাম আমরা ওয়াল ওভার হইতাম যে look what we out collectively if we work together দেখো আমরা সব এখানে আইয়া কতখান অ্যাচিভ করা যায় যে সময় আমরা একসাথে কাম করি so please to slow down a little bit now people tell me I get carried away we will please have the opportunity after this finishes this ceremony I want to give you the opportunity to go back 5 o'clock the clock is ticking already the exhibition has been extended 1 week the clock is ticking 5 o'clock it finishes and it all comes down until of course when we take it to New York which is in the pipeline when we take it to London when we take it to Bangladesh I'm ready to work with anyone from London. I know I'm outside of the M25. Forgive me. Sorry, Asi. But I'm ready, Asi, to work with our London friends. We already have people on the ground making this happen in London. And many of you are here. Wales has its story. London has its story. The North has its story. We are ready to take this to Bangladesh. They have emails and phone calls coming saying we want to tell the world about Britain's curry pioneers. Please, after a shop, you go to the exhibition after, we'll get a chance. Share the live feed. LB24 are doing a live feed. Let this go viral. After share kori libas, eta live, ekta feed ase. Ze asta amdar ita England e dekhte parbo UK and abroad. So LB24 tara not share kori ba live feed. And of course, hashtag Night of the Raj. Or Twitter if you go and tweet it and put your pictures on there. Thank you. Now, I'm going to move on now. Sorry, I want to got a lot of guests to come on. Forgive me. I'm trying not to do a typical Bengali event by having speech after speech after speech. But you know what? There's going to be a bit of that. We look with Bengali at the end of the day. Nani. We're going to have to keep the tradition because I want to give some of these pioneers that are going to bless us on the stage from our community, as well as friends of the community that respect. So please, let's just try and, we're going to keep them all very concise. We're talking 4 or 5 minutes, some of them only 2 minutes. So if they go on to 10, 15, you know, you're ready to just give us a little signal to say, right. But we do want to keep things short because the time is ticking across the road. So first I want to bless on the stage here someone who I've only recently got to know, the legend that many of you are familiar with in this country. And he did for our communities as well. And he's always spoken the truth in the face of any resistance or oppression. Someone we must admire and show our respect and honor. And I would like to bless him to the stage. When I went on his show on Russia RT television, the passion he gave. You know something? I studied the man I'm about to bring onto the stage. I studied how he speaks because what a beautiful orator, what a speaker. He has you mesmerized, just as he tore to pieces the Sky News reporter that challenged him. I think you know who I'm talking about when I say that. Yes? Make some noise for Mr. George Galloway.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Michael Mansfield, Britain's most distinguished Queen's Counsel, Muhammad Ali, MBE, distinguished councillors, respected elders, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great honor for me to be on this stage and to have played some very small part in publicizing the exhibition whose temporary closure we acknowledge today. A temporary closure because I'm absolutely convinced that this will travel not only throughout Britain, but throughout the world. And as we gather here in the lead of some of the finest, the great city of Birmingham, built on the gold of air, as seen on Peaky Blinders, the film here, as we gather here in what the British Prime Minister almost 200 years ago, Benjamin Disraeli, called the workshop of the world. I see this exhibition as the Empire Strikes Back. Because no one should underestimate the phenomenal achievement of people from a poor country, Bangladesh, overwhelmingly from a poor part of that poor country, namely Sylhet. 90% of the thousands of restaurants across this country have been founded by and are run by the people of Sylhet, every square mile of which, for a variety of reasons, I have had the honor of visiting. The phenomenal achievement of people who once were Lascars, jumping ship, coming here with nothing but the clothes in which they stood, have built an economic empire valued in the tens of millions, tens of billions of pounds, employing tens of thousands of people, and have become, in such a short time, such an indispensable and central part of the culture of the country which colonized them in the first place. It is actually a kind of miracle. I noticed in going around the exhibition that the first restaurants in Birmingham were opened in the year I was born, 1954. 2, 3, 4 of them were opened in the year that I was born. I'm not young, but neither am I so old. And all of this has happened in my own lifetime. It is a kind of miracle. Those here who are not from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, will remember, as I do, their very first taste of curry. I remember my very first visit to an Indian restaurant in India. I remember the taste, the need to quaff huge volumes of water. I remember my father, God rest his soul, going to the back of the menus, ordering salmon chips, gammon, apple, and ending his days cooking curry of the finest and most voracious spiciness. Another example of this miracle of which I speak. But all of this could have been lost. The origin of this could have been lost. This, amongst many other achievements, has ensured that it will not be lost. That, as Muhammad Ali said, his children will know his father, and this journey from Sylhet to Britain and the hardship. He was searching for a translation of the Bengali word, and the best he could come up with was hardship. But of course it was more than hardship, because in that brief period of time, all of you of a certain hue have faced worse than hardship, bigotry, discrimination, racism, Islamophobia, and you have triumphed over all of these things. You have triumphed over them. Another great achievement. Because even the most racist British people go for a curry on a Friday night. There's nobody coming out of a Birmingham saying, let's go for an English. Nobody in their right mind in any case. Great achievement, a historic achievement. The empire striking back and now captured forever in this exhibition. Truly phenomenal. But it will not be complete until Muhammad Ali MBE is in the House of Lords and your community is represented as it should be in all the corners of power, including here in the great city of Birmingham. It has been my pleasure, my honor to be amongst you today. I didn't partake of the sandwiches because I was at an exhibition called Knights of the Raj. There might be a curry at the end of it. I'm saving myself for that. I thank you all for the honor of being allowed to speak here today. Take my hat off to all those who have organized it. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum.
Come on, one more time for the only George Galloway, guys. What an amazing speech. I've just come back on. Guys, just a kind request, everybody. Some of our media crew here, guys, please do refrain from coming onto the stages. It's a kind request. We don't want any media crew at the back of the stage. You can stay at the front of the stage. Thank you very much. And again, the chairs are there for some of the elderly, respectable community leaders here. So please do give up your seat if you see someone standing, guys. So let's move forward. You know what? There's loads to say. We're in a fabulous building here, an amazing place. It's the right place for it. And, you know, one person that's been actually helping Muhammad Ali all the way from day one, right, is a gentleman called Toby Watley, the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, Director of Collection. He leads the Birmingham Museum exhibitions and collections, management, acquisitions, oh God, the list is long. Without further ado, actually, let's put our hands together for Toby.
Nice one. Hello. Lovely to see so many people here at Walthall Gallery. This is fantastic. So I'm Toby Watley, Director of Collections for Birmingham Museums Trust. And I'm so glad we managed to extend this amazing exhibition by a week. So it gave us the opportunity to put on this big finale event. Absolutely worth it. Lovely to see you all. Over the last few months, the exhibition's attracted thousands of visitors. It's had a huge amount of public interest, both amongst the public and the press, and that's fully deserved. And that's fully deserved because it's a really amazing exhibition. It's an exhibition that's very well researched and very well presented. And Birmingham Museums Trust is so proud to be hosting an exhibition of this calibre, and of this importance. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mohammed and the entire Seoul City Arts team. There's a huge number of them who've been given their time and effort and voluntary support to deliver this incredible exhibition. So many, many thanks. I'd also like to thank the Arts Council, who have funded this afternoon's event so we could bring you all here today and put on some tea and coffee. For any of you who don't know, Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery is part of a much larger organisation called Birmingham Museums Trust. And we manage and care for the city's museum collection and its 9 museums on behalf of the City Council, but also on behalf of yourselves. It's your museums, it's your collection. And our vision is to present Birmingham to the world and the world to Birmingham. And we do this through welcoming 1 million visitors through our doors each year, and through engaging with 1.5 million visitors around the world that visit exhibitions featuring objects and artifacts on loan from the collection. And in this context, we're delighted to put on an exhibition like Knights of the Raj that tells a truly Birmingham story, but it's also a very important global story. It's the impact that the Bangladeshi community not only had on this city, but on the UK and abroad. And it's a story that needs to be told and hadn't been told, and we're delighted to be supporting that. We want to be able to share more of these stories and histories with the wider public, stories that reflect your personal or family or community histories and experiences growing up, living and working in Birmingham, in this amazing city that is Birmingham. And if you've got ideas for stories that you'd like us to tell in our future displays, please get in touch. We want to hear from you. We're here to represent you. As part of the exhibition, if any of you have seen it, there's incredible Koh-i-Noor restaurant booth that features in the exhibition that we've acquired into the collection. So even when this exhibition finishes today, at the end of today, we get to keep showing that, to tell the story of the Knights of the Raj for future generations, and that's really important. So if we could just end on one message today, that is, this is your museum, this is your collection. We're here to tell your stories and your histories. Get involved, get in touch. We want to work with you. Thanks for coming and have a super afternoon.
Well, it's going to sound like I'm telling everybody off, but if we do have these honourable gentlemen who are coming up to give some speeches, it'd be nice if everyone kind of like uttering and muttering a little bit less maybe, guys, so we can hear what's been going on. We're very passionate about this, and I know everybody in this room is very passionate about this whole exhibition, guys. So, you know, everybody that's in the room, let's put our nice hands together for everybody that's attended this event. So we need to thank you guys too for coming. Amazing. Some people have come from, I don't know, all over the place. We heard someone from Wales earlier on, and I think London and everywhere. Where, Essex? Okay, Essex as well. Who? Oh, Portsmouth as well, guys. So look, from everywhere, we've got loads of people. All our dignitaries here, honourable members of the public as well. Guys, you all deserve a massive round of applause one more time. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to bring on stage. Actually, just before that, have you guys seen the books? Have you guys got them? Okay. Right, you see, I've got an earpiece on here, and I getting told little things, so I'm getting a little bit mixed up here. So the books, guys, it is a very limited, you know, the exhibition is only funded, so it doesn't come out of our pockets. These books, hopefully, just take one away rather than taking 2 or 3 away, because we're going to end up running out. So that's just another kind request for all of you guys. Do take one away rather than taking more than one. Sorry about that. So here we go. So we've got now for you guys a Michael Mansfield, QC, a successful, widely known barrister, a Republican, a socialist, a self-described radical lawyer. He's participated in loads of high-profile court cases. Let's bring him onto the stage to let us know a few things. I've not met the gentleman just yet, but let's bring on stage Michael Mansfield. Oh, is that you, sir? One of the first ones that were here. Sorry? Oh, Yvette would like to have you here as well, supporting your partner. Yes, sir. Please do. Please do. Ooh.
It's a balance, you see.
Sure. Here we go. Guys, here we are.
Do you need a microphone? Yeah. Welcome. Here, say a few words first.
Hi, everyone. Come on, come on, come on. You're meant to be excited this afternoon. Hello. Yeah, that's better. Well, I'm so pleased to be here in Birmingham because this is my hometown. So I'm really excited, you know, that coming here and also learning more about the history of something actually we just take for granted and don't even think about where it came from, let alone the personal stories, the hardship, the trials and tribulations of the Bangladeshi community. So thank you all very much for this opportunity and the education that you're giving so many people. It's really vital. Mohammed, thank you so much for inviting us here today. When I was on the George Galloway show and I was told I was going to meet Muhammad Ali, I thought, sure he's not around, you know? And then I did. And this one, it has to be said, is so much better. So it's great to be here. George mentioned briefly about the history of curry and what it meant through his lifetime. I'm not as old as George, but going back to the 80s when I was a rebel in the making, and Birmingham was my haunt and my hangout. In those days, people went for a curry because they'd had too much alcohol in the pub, could barely stand up, and it's the nearest place to fall into. And then brag the next day about how hot your vindaloo was. You know, all the men, it was like a competition. Oh, my vindaloo was hotter than yours, you know? And of course, they were all very, very poorly. But sort of, it's amazing to see now how sophisticated the curry culture has become, because people take it as a serious night out. They go to enjoy the cuisine, the atmosphere. The places that we eat in now are absolutely beautiful. And that's all down to you for bringing the culture forward, bringing the dining experience into something really positive. So hands together for you all. Thank you very much for that. Just before I hand the microphone over to Mike, sorry Mike, I was speaking to a gentleman here earlier, and I think a lot of you probably know him. Dave, where are you? Can you put your hand up for me? There he is, hiding behind the pillar. I was speaking to Dave about the history, because being a Brummie, the only thing I knew about Steelhouse Lane was the police used to be down there. I've no idea if they still are. But Dave tells me about his father's restaurant, which was one of the first ones to be opened in Birmingham, in Steelhouse Lane. And I know that there have been some difficulties within the family, but Dave was also keen to discuss the positivities. So Dave, sorry, where are you again? Put your hands up. There you go. Can I just get down off the stage a minute, Mohammed? Is that all right, yeah? I'll do my stuff. Dave, just tell us what today means for you, remembering and going through the history of curry in relation to your family and your contribution.
Just a massive sense of pride, really, in my dad and all the people that worked with him in the beginning. I think I'm a little bit older than most of the younger people here to remember what went on, but all I'm feeling at the moment is a sense of pride.
That's great. Thanks, Dave. And listen, it's not just about the bigger community. You've all got individual stories, and I really think you need to get them out there because they're amazing. You're amazing people. And thank you very much.
Take that one away. Hello. Yes, that works. I don't know about you, or you. I'm starving. I'm going to be quick, don't worry. When I first went in the exhibition, it's all right. Talk amongst yourselves, which I think you are already. When I went into the exhibition, one of the first things that you come across is that the exhibition is not about food. And really, that's the point I want to touch on. The point of the exhibition is to demonstrate, and you probably know it already, as part of that community, that you are building a cohesive movement which reaches out to all communities. Now, I've been practicing law for 50 years. I've represented a diverse range of communities, communities that are Irish, communities that are West Indian, communities that are Indian, communities that are Islamic, right through to Grenfell Tower at the moment. And the one thing I've learned is there's only one race. And I think you know the answer to that one too. Exactly, the human race. And basically, we all have to continue to stand together, not just for the curry house, but for a much bigger issue that touches you here in Birmingham and wherever you live in the world, because there's a universality about the human race. What affects people in Bangladesh affects us here. What affects us here in Birmingham affects people in London and in very many other countries. In other words, there's no singularity. Everything is interrelated. We have an obligation and a responsibility to each other. And in the present climate, don't let's forget, there is a very serious threat, not just to the curry house, but to the existence of a diverse community. That is what is being undermined at the moment in the politics that we're all facing and fighting. And the only way to overcome the bigotry, the prejudice, the discrimination that George talked about is that we do stand as one. That solidarity may have gone out of fashion a few years ago, but it's coming back because it's only when they see us like this, united, that they begin to listen. And I want to end on a positive, very positive note. I don't know how many of you know about the Law Centre movement in this country. I was part of that, started it in the 1970s, when these curry houses were gaining ground. Now, the law centres perform a vital role for the community, providing very cheap or free advice on all sorts of issues that affect your employment, housing, immigration, and so on. And what's been happening at the same time as the growth of bigotry is the closure of law centres here in Birmingham. Except there's one story of survival. Now, is Michael here? I've forgotten his other name. Michael, someone who's responsible for the Birmingham Law Centre. There he is. I want to mention that. I want to mention it because his survival and the Law Centre's survival, what's it due to? It's actually due to you. It's the Bangladeshi community that have come together to provide premises. I think that is the ultimate, in a sense, victory of the community over the forces that are trying to erode our very existence. So I'd ask you to support that centre. Any voluntary help that can be gotten is extremely welcome. So, and I was looking at the vocabulary, because I'm often finding myself in court against the police. I love the word in Bangla for police. Yeah, foolish. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Guys, you know, he may just look like an old man that's very hungry, but, you know, let's put our hands together again, because this gentleman has put, you know, the Hillsborough disaster, the Birmingham pub bombings, this man's led it all. So one more time. You know, everybody's so lovely here, and I know we're getting a bit restless because we're standing and stuff. And again, a very, very, very kind request for everyone to kind of utter it down a little bit more so we can hear the speeches and respect the people that are on stage trying to tell you, especially if they're different coloured as well, about our curry industry. So please, without, again, no race discrimination here, but still, please do give our guest an opportunity to tell you guys why they're here and what they're here for. So, you know, just keeping any of our guests that are going to come up again, we're running out of time, so if you could keep your speeches a little bit shorter, not saying skip any of it, but please do understand that we're on a time limit here. Guys, who do I bring on now? You know, I've known this gentleman for a very long time. Community leader, a nice gentleman. He is in the room somewhere here. I can not see him. But the Secretary General of the Bangladesh Caterers Association, and locally known as the Curry King of Stevenage, a well-known celebrity and an award-winning chef. Guys, put your hands together for Mr. Ali Khan. Wow. We're on stage together.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and assalamu alaikum. Those of you who doesn't know about the curry industry, let me tell you briefly about the curry industry. British curry industry in this country was established in 1809. That's where the first curry house was established, and then the curry became popular since 1920. And 1950s started the curry houses. And now we have over 12,000 curry houses in the United Kingdom. The curry industry contributes 4.2 billion to the British economy every year. Is that a huge amount? It's a huge amount of contribution that goes to the British treasury here in the United Kingdom. And this industry employs almost 150,000 people, directly or indirectly. So this is a true fact that British curry industry was established here for a long, long time. Although we don't call that a Bangladeshi curry, it's a British curry. The curry that you eat here is a British curry that loved by the British consumer, the people of English people who loves this curry. So now these Knights of the Raj is an amazing thing that have initiated by Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, I salute you for this. This is an untold story that's got to be heard by the consumer, that's got to be heard by the British people. And as you can see, it reminds me a lot of things. When I started within the curry industry about 30 years ago, when I started as a kitchen porter, and it reminds me that when I went to the exhibition hall, I saw that bedrooms, I saw those kitchens, some of the kitchens that still exist in this century, but those stories that was never been told. So I really salute Mr. Muhammad Ali for taking this initiative. It's a fantastic initiative that has been taken in Birmingham, the city of Balti. I think most of you know, when you talk about the curry houses, this is the city of Balti House, isn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, we need your great support because we are facing such a tough time at this moment for the British curry industry. There is a huge shortage of staff at the moment because of Brexit, because of immigration rules. And I don't know whether some of you heard the last week, University of Cambridge have revealed a survey on staff shortage within the hospitality sector in the United Kingdom. And they're saying there is about 375,000 people's shortage within the hospitality sector. So it's a huge amount. And we reckon from the Bangladesh Caterers Association that in the British curry industry, there is about 35,000 shortage of workers at this moment. So it's a huge industry, 4.2 billion pound industry that got to be saved. That got to be saved by the government. That got to be saved by the people who actually working within the industry and the organizations. So as from the Bangladesh Caterers Association, I'd like to thank Knights of the Raj team and Muhammad Ali for organizing such an event. And I think this sort of history to be told everywhere, not in Birmingham. That got to be done in London. That got to be done in Manchester, because there is a lot of restaurants that history never been told. So I'm not taking any more of your time. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I really thank everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It's an honor to have some of our industry leaders here today present with us, talking about the curry industry. How about talking about myself? I'm a restaurateur as well. Can I have a round of applause for myself? Because I'm a young restaurateur, right? In fact, I started when I was 13 years of age. I introduced myself as Taz Ahmed. In fact, my name is actually Amir Ahmed. Why did Taz come into it? Because in the restaurants, customers never used to be able to say my name properly. It's like Amir or like Amir, and it's hard. So in fact, the curry industry made me change my name to Taz. So it's quick and easy and simple for everyone to remember. So that's how Taz came by. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all okay and your legs are feeling okay. I can see smiley faces, so it seems like they're all okay. And again, one more time, guys, we had plenty of time to network and mingle. We'll do some more of that later on. So again, please, I'll keep saying it and uttering it. Please do keep the uttering and muttering to a minimal. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to bring on stage a film producer, a businessman, a High Sheriff of the West Midlands for the year 2015 to 16, a founder and director of Maverick TV, a board member and of Creative England, and it goes by the name Johnny Turpie, MBE. Please bring him on stage. And alongside him, we've also got Anita Bala, OBE, We've had to join them both together, unfortunately, because of the time. A former presenter of Eastern Eye on channel and former chair of the board of the MAC. Is it MAC?
MAC, yeah.
What does MAC mean?
It's Midlands Arts Centre.
Here we go, guys. So put your hands together for these two fabulous people here.
Yep. Well, we're doing a double act, so we can be quick. I'm going to take a lead, Johnny. Just wanted to say, what an amazing exhibition. As a Brummie, someone who's grown up here, I was so proud to see that exhibition. And, you know, it's because of the work that went on of our past generations that we can proudly say that the curry is the national dish of this country. So, well done to all of you. Well done to the families who put the work in. And I think I'm also I'm one of the directors of the Local Enterprise Partnership here, and we've heard about the skills shortage here. And I think it'd be great if we can get behind it, on the back of this exhibition, get behind and go to the Local Enterprise Partnership to see how we can support the skills development. But for now, congratulations to you all. It's an amazing exhibition. And I hope it really does go to New York and to other parts of the world, because it quite clearly deserves to be there.
Brilliant. Thanks, Anita. It's a great honour to be here. As everybody has said, it's a brilliant exhibition, and it's brilliant that it's in Birmingham. But as we know, it's in many other, it should travel to many other cities in Britain and beyond. I came to the community opening 2 or 3 months ago, and it's fantastic that the show has been on for 3 months. But at that event, it was a very moving event because so many people came from the community, as you have today. And I think that's what Mohammed has done. He's brought so many people together. He also has used digital technologies to actually introduce other information about the exhibits in the exhibition. And it just shows that the Curry community is a future-focused community rather than a backward-looking community. Now, a gentleman earlier on called Rana Day, who's sitting over here. You'll recognize him because he's got the best moustache in the building. He told me a little bit about his life here, where he began in 1960 as a bus conductor with Birmingham City Council, and then joined colleagues in running restaurants, and then now runs his own restaurants now. And I think that shows a massive career structure that happens in Birmingham, where people have come to the city and the region and have made their fortune here. So thank you very much, Rana, for introducing me. Give him a clap, come on. And finally, we ended our conversation round the table with the gaffer table. The gaffer table is where the boss sits, you guys know that, and we all know the word gaffer, but I don't know where it comes from. Is it a Bangladeshi word that was taken into British culture, or British word taken into Bangladeshi country over the time of the Raj? That might be a little venture for us to find out and find an answer to where does a gaffer come from. But the real gaffer today is Muhammad Ali. He told me about how he chose Knights of the Raj as a subversive title to this exhibition, and he's absolutely right. But let's make more Knights of the Raj in Birmingham, in the UK. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we did have quite a fair few speakers here today. Unfortunately, some of them are still on their way and some couldn't make it, so apologies on that. And we're going to skip on. We're going to bring on somebody, again, I've known him for many years. He's always on TV. I watch his shows. Controversial guy, amazing person. Hello there. I'm sorry, but I was... What's up?
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. I'm from British Borders Agency, and we're looking for an individual who has skipped immigration. His name is Mashuk Mia. We have intelligent... Mashuk Mia, am I pronouncing that right? Or Mashruk Mia?
You all right there? Okay. Sorry, uninterrupted. I don't know what was going on there for a second. We're all right? Okay, guys. Huh. Yeah, bloody hell, shit me up. Sorry, mind the French. Guys, oh God, I was talking about somebody that I admire. Let's bring in on stage now, without further ado, because we're running out of time. The founder of Channel S TV, guys, a television presenter, amazing gentleman, Mr. Mahi Ferdows Jalil. You lost a lot of weight since I last seen you. Yes, babe. There you are.
Assalamu alaikum bhai. Nakol bala asunni apnara. Bala asun to. আমি আসলে বাংলায় মাতবো আপনার লগে কয়েক মিনিটের লাগে মাতবো বেশি মাততাম না প্রথমেই কইতে হইব যে মোহাম্মদ আলী তার খালি এমপি পাইছেন না আসলে আমরা সবার হৃদয়ে তাই জায়গা বানাইছে আমরা বাপ দাদার ইতিহাসরে আপনারা সামনে তুলিয়া ধরার লাগে সেকেন্ডলি আজকে আমি যেটা দেখছি সেটা হইল যে সাদা মানুষরা আমরা ভালো জিনিস কখনো তুলিয়া ধরতো না আমরার ইতিহাস তুলিয়া ধরতে হইব আমরার বাপ দাদারে আমরাই তোমার দেওয়ালও লাগাইতাম হইব বা ছিন্তর হৃদয়ে তারারে আমরাই জায়গা দিতাম হইব আরেকটা জিনিস আমি যেটা দেখতাম পাইছি সেটা হইল যে আমরার মহিবীরা যতটুকু সংগ্রামী আসলা তার তুলনায় আপনারা এতটুকু সংগ্রামী নাই আপনারা বলতে আমার সামনে যারা বইছেন আপনারা সেলফ অ্যাপয়েন্টেড লিডার হল যারা আজকে বিগত 50 বছর থেকে আপনারা যারা কেটারিংয়ের ব্যবসা করা কেটারিংয়ের অ্যাওয়ার্ড দেরা বড় বড় টেবিল বিক্রি করা তারাই কিন্তু এইসব জিনিস করার দরকার আছে আমরা করার দরকার আছে না আমরার জেনারেশনের মোহাম্মদ আলী করার দরকার আছে না করার দরকার আছে আমরা দাবি করি 50 বছর থেকে আমরা অ্যাসোসিয়েশন হল রান করি আর কিতা করি বড় বড় টেবিল বিক্রি করি আর অ্যাওয়ার্ডের ব্যবসা করি আসলে আমরা বিকৃত করি আমরার যেটা কই যে আমরার বাপ দাদার ইতিহাস যেটা 1809 থেকে শুরু হোক বা 1920 থেকে শুরু হোক বা 1950 থেকেও শুরু হোক বা ফ্যাক্ট অফ দ্য ম্যাটার হইল আমরাই এই ক্রাইসিসের সৃষ্টি করছি আমরা কারণ আমরা সব সময় হইতাম যে ইন্ডাস্ট্রি যাইও না আজকে বাচ্চা নকল আমরা সবরই এডুকেট হয়েছে বাট আমরা পজিটিভভাবে এই ইন্ডাস্ট্রি রিপ্রেজেন্ট করছি না করার কারণেই আজকে আমরা সাফারার অথবা অন্যান্যরা আমরা ব্যবসারে আর কি বা আমরা রিজেক্ট নেই আর কি বা এনিওয়ে আমি এটা লম্বা করলাম না লস্ট হিরো যখন যারা খুঁজিয়া তাই বার করছেন মোহাম্মদ আলী এবং তার টিমে আল্লাহ তান বালা করুক আমরা সুবিধান লাগি দোয়া করি চ্যানেল সবসময় আপনার পাশে আছে মোহাম্মদ আলী এমপি পাওয়ার পরেও আমরা তার প্রথম নিউজ করছি এই প্রোগ্রামেরও করিয়া যেন আমরা সবসময় আপনারা পাশে থাকবো আর আজকের এই প্রোগ্রাম থেকে দেখা গেছে যেটা যে সাইড এফেক্ট যেগুলো হয়েছে কারি ইন্ডাস্ট্রির আমি আসলে যদি কেউ দাবি করি আপনারা যারা সেলফ অ্যাপয়েন্টেড বড় বড় অর্গানাইজেশন লইয়া বইছে তারারই আমি দাবি করবো বালা তাহকা দোয়া করবা আসসালামু আলাইকুম
Thank you very much. Let's hear it again for Mr. Jalil. Very nice. Thank you, sir. We want to definitely going to come back onto that one. So everyone that's well-wishing, I hope you keep your promises and support Muhammad Ali through his journey, this epic journey that he started. It's an amazing, amazing journey. Guys, you know, we are running a little bit short on time and we want everybody to see the exhibition which is across the other side of this room. So guys, please don't go. And again, a little bit sorry about what happened earlier. I'm not quite sure. So don't be afraid. Nothing's happening. Only if you hear a fire alarm, there's a fire exit over there, guys. Otherwise, don't run or don't go anywhere. All right, guys. So I'm going to bring on stage another gentleman who, again, has been supporting Muhammad Ali for a very long time.
Just interrupt something.
Yeah.
Because people get worried. Shall I expose them? We need to expose Rashid.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. We have something to share with you. Sorry for the interruption. We have someone coming out the back door right now. Sir, do you mind coming forward? There's nothing to worry about. Right. This is my good friend, Rashid. He's not working for the immigration at all, okay? We just thought we'd ease your concerns because there was a bit of people worried about what was going on.
Pronounce the name right though. Mashouk Mahmoud Mia, is it? Mashouk? Nobody here? I'll have a word with him, thanks.
Okay. So if your name's Mashuk Mia, don't worry about it, yeah? He's not looking for no Mashuk Mia. But what it does show, I think, hopefully will show that the reality of what things happen. I mean, how many are familiar with this type of thing? The panic that when you see someone with a badge walk in, whether they're immigration or they're the health inspector or all of these kind of things. So we're just kind of sharing with you. I'm sorry to worry anybody in the room, but we just thought we'd do a little experiment about how people can feel in this industry. Sometimes, you know, it's just about kind of making people feel what we feel at times, that nervousness, the panic, the way things are done in this way. So anyway, forgive us for any concern.
Thank you, guys. Again, there's a lot of noise coming from that entrance over there. Mr. Moyne, please, ladies and gentlemen, you're such beautiful people. I'm sure you guys can give us a few moments here and listen to this. This is the grand finale of this exhibition here in Birmingham. It's very important. It's very important. If you share the same passion, please listen to what our guest speakers are saying, guys. Again, kindly, please refrain from talking when there's a guest on stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to bring on stage the President of the Asian Catering Federation, the Federation of Bangladeshi Caterers, Chairman of the Asian Curry Awards, and the Director on the Board of European Small Business Alliance, Mr. Yara Khan. Here we are. Wow.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm a bit scared with the immigration officer. I thought really they're raiding the place. Right, I just first of all like to thank you, Muhammad Ali, to organize such the exhibition and bring our curry industry history, untold history, which one we are sharing here today. And this is the only few of them, and I think hundreds of stories like that. Hopefully, he's going to bring in the next few years in a short time. I just like to share myself. I started my job 1973, and my first job as a commis waiter in London. And that's where I start from, and I opened my restaurant 1974. And the story we can see in the wall, and I think some of the story, it is very similar, like my own life story when I started working, and how difficult to run the curry house at that time. And other Bangladeshi, we are the one who created the Bangladeshi curry industry, which are known as the British curry industry now. It is owned and worked by our Bangladeshi community, and we are the one who's final for the whole industry. And I just don't want to make my speech very long, and I'm sure of my previous speaker and who is coming in future, they will tell the more interesting story. I'll be listening to there. One thing I want to share with everyone, with a big thanks to Muhammad Ali, the gentleman who able to bring all curry industry leader here, media, everybody here, and I like to share, and I to ask everyone, our curry industry is going through the crisis time to time, but we are facing the biggest crisis now. Lest we all take one word today. Present situation of the skill shortage in the curry industry is not just a Asian Catering Federation problem or BC or anybody else. Only way, if we can all get united front and work together, we can save our industry. And this is the one I'm there, so I'm asking everyone, please, all other organizations, if we can all get together and let's save our future curry industry for future generation. I don't want to make my speech. I like to thank, and now I just like to call Muhammad Ali. If he can kindly join me in a stage, we just behalf of the Asian Catering Federation, I'd like to thank you. Please come in here. Also, I want to my Secretary General Anwar Hussain and Shah Athar, please join us. So just say big, please come in here. Please. We just like to give a big thanks to Muhammad Ali, who telling the untold story about the industry. Well done. Congratulations for your success, and we want to see future more. That's only few stories, hundreds more stories. I'm sure you can bring it into our current industry and show our next generation how the older generation work and make such a beautiful industry for us. Thank you.
Wow, wow, what an honor. That's really nice, very nice. Well, on behalf of Muhammad Ali, thank you very much for this very kind gesture that you guys have made. It certainly will mean something for him, and again, alongside all his fabulous awards and achievements, that's another one to go on the wall as well, guys. So thank you so much. You know, we've got our dignitaries sitting right here, honourable guests and friends and family, all of you guys. We're not going to keep you here for too long now. We've got a few more guest speakers to come on, and then we can move on. And we are running a little bit late on time, so please do excuse us on this moment. Right, so the next speaker I have for you, lovely people, one of our dear surviving pioneers of the industry. Now, come on, as soon as you hear that bit, I think that deserves a round of applause. A very few. Would you like to put him on stage? Yeah, of course you can, sir. Of course.
So I'm just taking over only because I know personally our dear uncle Rana Day. Please, if you can come. He is probably one of the oldest surviving, currently running a business in Birmingham, the Omar Khayyum restaurant. And he's still in that restaurant since the early 60s. He was a bus conductor in the 50s in Birmingham, and really is a pioneer that is still with us. Ice Frozen Tatan Restaurant Salaida, Omar Khayyum with his sons Anupam, who's here, and Pritam Day, who's on the Knights of the Raj team. So please, Sasa, apne Bangla kholi hoijibo, kono oshubida nai. Apne Bangla kholi was there, apne eta kila gese apnar eta, apnar ekটু kholiba.
Anyway, good evening, everybody, and salam and adab. আমার সম্বন্ধে আমি সিলেটে কইতেছি। আমার সম্বন্ধে তো নিশ্চয়ই এক্সিবিশনে দেখছই, সপ্তাহিত জানা আছে। অতএব আমার এমন কোনো কিছু খুব বেশি একটা কইবার নাই, কিন্তু মোহাম্মদ আলী হি কল্ড মি আঙ্কেল, কারণ মোহাম্মদ আলীর বাবা তৌর আলী যে সময় আমি প্রথম রেস্টুরেন্ট করি 1963, তখন থাইন সহ আমি একসাথে কাজ করছি। অতএব তখন থেকে আমি চিনি মোহাম্মদ আলীর বাবারে খুব ভালো করি। এবং আমি যে সময় রেস্টুরেন্ট করি 1963, তখন মানে বার্মিংহাম নট মোর দেন 10 রেস্টুরেন্ট, এবং সেলিওক এইটাই আমার ফার্স্ট রেস্টুরেন্ট আছিল। এবং যখন এই রেস্টুরেন্টগুলা মানে রেস্টুরেন্ট মালিকরা আমরা সব একসাথে থাকতাম, মানে এত কষ্ট করছি এটা করবার মতন নাই। অখন যারা এই ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে আসেন তারা মানে কোনো কিছুই এটা ইয়ে করবার নাই, মানে ওখান খুলতে হইলে ধরনের 5 জন 6 জনে একসাথে করলা কোনো অসুবিধা নাই। কিন্তু আমরা যখন করছি তখন একা আমরা সব করতে হয়েছে, ইভেন আমরা থাকার জায়গা পর্যন্ত নাই, আমরা সব এক রুমে থাকতাম বা 2 রুমে থাকতাম, এইরকম আমরা কাজ করিয়ে গেছি। অথবা যা কষ্ট আমরা করছি এই কষ্টর কোনো মানে বিশ্লেষণ করার মতো নাই। কিন্তু মোহাম্মদ আলী এখন যা খরচ এটা প্রত্যেকের এটা এখন জানা হইল যে কীভাবে আমরা এই কষ্ট উপভোগ করিয়া আমরা এই ইন্ডাস্ট্রি খাড়া আছি। কিন্তু দুঃখের বিষয় মনে হবে না কোনো কিছু, কোনো ইয়ংস্টাররা তারা প্রথম রেস্টুরেন্ট হইয়া খুলিয়া যেরকম অফার দিছই, এটা পুরাতন বিজনেসম্যানরে মানে আমরা একটা খুব অসুবিধা হইতেছে। এটা আমার রিকোয়েস্ট, মানে এত লেন কাস্টমারের সাথে হওয়া উচিত নয়। যাই হোক, এটা আমার একটা পার্সোনাল ভিউ, যদি কেউ কোনো কিছু মনে করেন প্লিজ আমারে মাফ করবা। আমার আর আমার রেস্টুরেন্ট সম্বন্ধে ধরুন আমি 63 থাকি, আমি রেস্টুরেন্ট করছি, আই এম 82 নাও, বাট স্টিল in my opinion I am active and still I go to my restaurant. I look after all my son. I have got 3 sons. They're running a restaurant, but still if আমি যদি একদিন যাই না রেস্টুরেন্ট, তো I think I'm missing something. That was my history of my and অনিতাওয়ালা এখানে আইসলা, অনিতাওয়ালাও আমার রেস্টুরেন্টে গেছেন কোনো ইন্টারভিউর লাগি, এবং এটাও একটা মিডল্যান্ড নিউজও আছিল অনেক আগে, অনিতাওয়ালার বোধহয় মনে থাকবো এটাই হইলেও। এনিওয়ে আমার আর কোনো নাই। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ টু মোহাম্মদ আলী অ্যান্ড এভরিবডি। আর আমি যদি কোনো ভুল ত্রুটি হইয়া থাকি কোনো কিছু আমার মাফ করবা প্লিজ। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
ওকে, তাইনজেন কইছেন একটা মিসিং থাকে। আমি রেস্টুরেন্টও আমার মনে আছে আমার আব্বাই কইতা, আমরা কইতাম তানরে যে একদিন বন্ধ, ক্রিসমাস ডে একদিন, 364 days a year my dad's restaurant was open. 364, one day Christmas day, ekdin. For some people half day, but my dad it was ekdin bondo the whole year. Ar khoitam thanre je dokhane, just relax. But tain khoita zaigi dekhila jodi pipe jodi fati jay ekta dekhila gya. That's how much they gave to their restaurants. That the one day in the year the Christmas day was closed, he'd say, no, I'm just going to check that the pipes aren't going to burst because it's cold. That's what their life was. Their business is to provide for their families. So it just reminds me of the stories. There is something so much deeper to be shared about how much of their commitment and sacrifice they made. And it's criminal if we don't record other stories with the Rakina. Then we are accountable for not respecting them. Next up, Amar Saidam. Sorry, I'm taking Taz's job here. What's going on? Bloody hell. Okay. I've got a dear cousin of mine, Muhammad Fazluddin, who's from London, who is a vice president of the Bangladesh Caterers Association, and a very, very dear cousin of mine with growing up. He spent many years in Birmingham in the 60s and then moved off to London. And it's really interesting that both Bengali Khol, tara arambo hoise tara roots in Birmingham City, right? Birmingham City. This is very important to know that when we hear about Bangla Town and Bangla Central, it's very, very important to know that the northern towns, due to the foundries, the factories, the textile industry, Tara Foila, and maybe Baisab can share with us a bit about his journey and what he did and how many people had started as Londoners now, very, very established Londoners, working with the BCA in London, and how he started in Birmingham. Okay, Baisab, thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad Ali. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hello, good afternoon. You have heard many things about our catering industry, our background, how we came to this country, and how hard it was for us to come to this stage. Anyway, I came to this country as a 14 years old boy back in 1967, I think. I studied in Birmingham. I finished my GCSE, started my first work in Curry Center for Mr. Guri Malik. I worked there a few years, I think. Then I moved on. After the Liberation War, 1972, I think it was mid-72, I left Birmingham. So you can see how long it has been for me that I left Birmingham. But because of my cousin, because of his hard work, because of this night of the Raj, he has managed to open the eyes for many of us, including me. I have met so many people that I haven't met for maybe last 45 years. So I think I
Well, in fact, I think we all should be grateful to Muhammad Ali for his work and all his friends who have helped him. And I think we all should remember and we all should do similar things, and especially his work should be recognized and should be within the bracket of Bangladesh Caterer Association. We should move it to London. Of course, he's going to go worldwide. It's not going to stop, and I think we should all come and back him up. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, once again, fabulous, all these amazing guest speakers that we have here, and Muhammad Ali taking my stage. Oh, we've got another pioneer in the making as well. Royce Ali's just entered the building. I guess some people are still coming here, guys. We have elderly gentlemen here, and just now he's come up and said, "Restaurant kultamra baba," you know, shomoy zargi. He's still at it, right? So I'm not going to introduce him on stage. Muhammad Ali wanted this gentleman to come up here, so you introduce this fine gentleman.
Okay, I want to bring someone on the stage here. Some of you may know him from Birmingham. He knew my father very well, and through this project, I really got to. And he was telling me stories about my dad. So his name's Muhammad Habibur Chaudhry, Habibur Rahman Chaudhry, but I hear many people call him Musolli Mama or Musolli Sasa. Musolli Mia is what people call him. Okay, so that he is very well known. Everyone knows that he knows everybody in the city and stories to tell. I tell you what, this project might have been kind of come to a close, but I'm still getting recordings. It's still Thanos both story ase, Thanos knowledge ase. Ami sare mokta bakhortam Thanos zeta amra share kortar. So please, apne ekটু kholiba please, apne jaibar age.
Assalamualaikum. Amar naam hoilo Musolli Mia, আর আসল নাম হইল হবিবুর রহমান চৌধুরী। আমার বাড়ি মৌলভীবাজার। আমি আইছি 1963 তো দেশ আয়া অকল পয়লা স্টাফুরত কাম করছি রেস্টুরেন্টে 5 পাউন্ড ওয়াইজেস। যত কষ্ট আছিল বহুত কষ্ট করছি। এর বাদে তো আমি আরও কাম করছি আমার মামুন্তর শাহবাগ রেস্টুরেন্ট আছিল ব্রিস্টল স্ট্রিট। শাহবাগ রেস্টুরেন্টে কাম করতাম। 1966-এও আমি অলবার্টন গিয়া রেস্টুরেন্ট করছিলাম। আমার পার্টনার আসলা, আমার তালই লাগতো, আমার ক্লাসমেট আসলা, একলগে আমরা লেখাপড়া করছিলাম তাই নাই দুনিয়ায়। আর আমার বাতিজা তাই তান আব্বা লাগে আমার বালা ক্লোজ ফ্রেন্ড আছিল, খুব জানাশোনা আসছিল। তো দোয়া করবা আমরা লাগি, আর আমারা লাগিও দোয়া করবা, আর আমি অকল লাগি দোয়া করি। আমার বাতিজা যেটা করিয়া গেছেন দুনিয়ার একটা ইস্তি, এটা লাগি অকলর প্রাউড থাকতো। আজ পর্যন্ত কেউ এটা করছিল না, আমার বাতিজা এটা করিয়া গেছেন। ওকে, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Taz. Taz in the place. Taz. Okay. Taz.
Just making sure that we had enough time. We are coming near to the end of this fabulous grand finale here for you guys today. There is one or two more guest speakers left here, and we're going to have a Q&A session. In fact, I suggested a Q&A session to Muhammad Ali only yesterday, because there may be some of us that would like to know where it's going, what's happening, what's next, and maybe ask him a few questions, why he started this off and whatnot. So we do know the backbone of this, but we'll have a Q&A session. So guys, please do stick around for the Q&A session. Now, the little boys and girls in the back over there, if you can hear me, please be kind and don't make too much noise when we come to the last guest speaker and the closing speech by Muhammad Ali. I'd like to say a few thank yous on behalf of Muhammad Ali to some of the people that are still turning up here. Thank you very much for attending and staying with us. Don't go anywhere, guys, okay? So without further ado, I'd like to call up on stage a media consultant, once worked for Sky. He's the son of a Birmingham restaurateur, pioneer, Eklas Mia. So guys, let's call up on stage Miraj Islam. Come on, put your hands together, guys, please.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Uncles, aunties, everyone, fufu. I'm going to keep it really short, but there's, I've got to say this exhibition has just been incredible. Thanks to the Birmingham Museum for hosting it for a start, because what it does, it shows, it validates and shows the contribution that Bengalis make to British society. And that's something that we really need to be proud of. You know, what has struck me throughout these past few months is the diverse audiences that have attended this exhibition. People from all backgrounds, all creeds, from all around the UK. People from Dubai flew over because they heard the members of their family were exhibited here. So it was drawing a crowd from all over. But what's most important and what was really striking was the number of children. And the children that are here in this room today. Because it's really, I get quite passionate about speaking about this, but it's incredibly important for us as British citizens, as British Bengalis, to know the contribution that we've made to this country, but also our place within this society. And our children need to know where all that started, where that came from. Our parents didn't talk about partition. Our parents didn't tell us about the horrors that they experienced in 47 and then 71. You know, these are things that no one ever spoke about. But somehow we ended up in this country. And we are the product of their struggles. We talk about khushto, you know, and we were talking about hardship, but actually it's sacrifice. And it's what they sacrificed. They left their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters to come to this land. And we today, we prosper and we do well because of what they sacrificed for us. Now for the children, this exhibition is incredibly important, and that's why the legacy needs to continue. That's why we need to make sure that the story of Knights of the Raj is amplified. You guys understand social media, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, you know, whatever it is, keep on telling the story, because without you sharing this, there's a generation who've disappeared. There's a generation who've died away. You know, and that, we must continue that story and that legacy. The one last thing I will say is also not to forget to mention our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, because when everybody was out working, there was somebody running the show. There was somebody supporting, and that contribution, I think, deserves a huge round of applause. I'm short on time, but the other thing is that many of these ladies, women, our aunties, our daddies, they outlive their partners, and they're still with us today. But these chaps that we see on the walls that are exhibited, it gives us a sense of nostalgia and it gives us a sense of pride. But what we should be walking away with is actually that pride, knowing that we contribute, and the restaurant industry today contributes £4.5 billion to the UK economy. So don't let anybody tell you we don't do our bit. Now, I'm going to hand over because Izzy, Mohammed, the crew, Muhammad Ali, these are the guys that made this happen. I just came along and helped and supported. But this guy, he may not float like a butterfly, but it really packs a punch when it comes to the arts. Now, I'd like to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, but also making sure that our children know and learn about the history of what our forefathers and our mothers did for us so that we could be here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miraj. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are running very short on time, I'll keep getting told. Hopefully you're all still comfortable. We're going to bring on stage, without any further ado, some people that have really supported Muhammad Ali in his journey. As you all know, media is the biggest platform. If you want to shout out, if you want to scream out, if you want anyone to know anything about you or anybody, media is the way forward, right? TV tells us and we listen and then we understand. So guys, the media that have supported Muhammad Ali through his journey, all the way till today, we're going to bring on stage the secretary of the London Bangla Press Club, who is here with us today, Mohammed Jubair. Mohammed Jubair Alam, is it? Please come on stage, sir. Thank you very much. Alongside him, we also have Abul Kalam Azad, the chairman of the Bangla Kagoj, who's also a very, very strong supporter of this Knights of the Raj. They've been there from day one, so both the gentlemen on together here today.
Thank you. Truly, Jalil said, we have so many institution, organization, Olibai here, BCA, Caterers Association, but we fail to promote an exhibit, organize this kind of exhibition. We, you know, আমরা ট্রান্সফর্ম করেছি ব্রিটিশ ইটিং কালচারকে, বাট এটাকে আমরা তুলে ধরতে পারি নাই আমাদের স্ট্রাগল অফ এক্সিস্টেন্সকে এবং আমাদের সাকসেসকে। সো এই কারণে অন বিহাফ অফ দ্য লন্ডন বাংলা প্রেস ক্লাব আমরা মোহাম্মদ আলী ভাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই, স্বাগত জানাই, এবং হোপ টু সি দিস এক্সিবিশন ইন লন্ডন উইথ মোর প্রেজেন্টেশন। ধন্যবাদ।
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank once again Muhammad Ali MB for this tremendous exhibition. And from first Bangla newspaper in Birmingham, which is Bangla Kagoj, on behalf of Bangla Kagoj, I'd like to thank him again. And being a media partner of this exhibition, this event, actually we are very, very much proud. We are very much proud of that. And would like to say again that we will continue supporting Muhammad Ali MB for any of his effort or any events in future. I think from exhibition and today's event, we are taking a lot of things. But one thing, I'm going to echo again what my previous speaker says, Costa. I think the sacrifice, the effort actually our previous generation did, and because of that we actually have managed to come to this point, that success. We can remember that, and this exhibition is obviously the reflection of that. And I would like to say yes, today, from today's event and from this exhibition, one word I'm taking away, which is Costa. I think we all remember this Costa. Because of this Costa we have come to this point. And I would like to thank you again. And from Bangla Kagoj, I would like to thank you once again. I would like to reassure again that we'll be supporting this event. Thank you.
The Bangla Kagoj is, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how loud it was. The Bangla Kagoj is a newspaper that's been helping with the media. Really, this not got to the community. I'm not so connected to my community. I'm an artist and I work in different circles. So it was great. It was a challenge for me to try and connect to the Bangladeshi community. I wanted to give something back to my community that I often had, I would say, I probably neglected for many, many years. So without the media, it really was a kind of great way to kind of access and make you guys aware. So I think I'm going to pass on to Taz.
Well, basically what Mo was trying to do is thank the press clubs and the media for their support on this one. Thank you very much for everyone that's here today. Guys, we have still got a few guest speakers and my running order's kind of gone a little bit all over the place. So apologies if I've had some of our guest speakers standing around. Without further ado, I'd like to call on stage the chairman of the Welsh Chamber of Commerce, Dilwar Hussain. Thank you. You've been sitting there. You've been comfortable.
That's right. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. By the way, my name is Dilawar Ali Hussain. I'm not Welsh Chamber, Welsh Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce. It is not my day. It is Muhammad Ali and plus all the elders. I don't think I deserve to be on the stage. You know, so you give me the opportunity. Thank you. All I want to say that what Muhammad Ali Bhai has done is absolutely wonderful. I mean, I worked in restaurant for so many years, and I could never imagine in my wildest dream that I'll see my bedroom, my kitchen, and the front in a national museum. I mean, that is alone, it say a lot, you know? And what have you done is not just to the whole world will know about it, but the history that our children, which is very important, that they should know where they're coming. If they know where they're coming from, then they will know where they're going. And I know what Jalil Bhai said, absolutely right. There's so many organizations, they have failed deliver what you have. But what I like to say now to Muhammad Ali Bhai. Muhammad Ali Bhai, can I just borrow you for 1 second? I don't know if you know. First of all, sir, thank you for inviting and congratulations. I don't know if you know, in 2020, there'll be 200 years history about curries in Britain. And our pledge from Welsh Bangladesh Chambers of Commerce to bring you an exhibit and celebrate in Wales, and we'll facilitate you all everything. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, on that note, I reckon the Mr. Dilwar Hussain should endorse Muhammad Ali. You should endorse him. He should be endorsed by many, many people. So, honestly, Muhammad Ali, there's loads to say about you. We have got 1 or 2 more guest speakers left. I'm extremely sorry for keeping you waiting. Without further ado, I'd like to call up on stage Sultan Mahmud Khan, Councillor of Bristol, to come up on stage and say a few words. Thank you. I have to say a few words about him. He has been elected to the British City Council in May 2016 for the 3rd time in office. British politician for the last 10 years. Amazing. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. My name is Sultan Mahmud Khan. I'm a councillor of Bristol City Council. But you see someone with me, it was a lost opportunity. That's why I didn't want it to miss that here, because Sasa's name was not given earlier on. So he should have been here rather than me. I don't deserve this. However, Muhammad Ali Bhai, I thank him for giving us this opportunity to come here. And it is wonderful. We heard from so many people. I don't want to go on to that. I would say just few words and then I will pass it to Sasa. Sasa's name is Abdul Wahab MBE, who started this curry business in Bristol with his friends in 1960s. So he is one of the pioneers. He should have been here. But anyway, what I wanted to say here is that it is very important. George Galway and Michael Mansfield QC has said few words. I just wanted to dwell on to George Galway's word. He said that one of the poorest city in Bangladesh, which is Sylhet, and from there, poorest people came to this country. I beg to differ with him. The reason is, Sylhet has always been a rich area of this planet, and it is still a day. However, I wanted to say this, that the British went to India. Those days, they weren't poor. If they were poor, it was fine. We came similar way to England, that centuries. We weren't poor. We were quite rich even at that time. So that's fine. It is not, I'm not trying to have a fight with him, but it's important to say this, that exactly the way Britain went there, we came for the very same reason here in this country. However, for the curry industry, so many people have said that we have failed. Our leadership have failed. And it is time, unite, and dissolve all these so many organizations and be one curry industry, one curry or caterers association, and fight for your own existence. I won't say any further. I will pass it to Abdul Wahab MB just to say a few words. And I'm inviting you, Muhammad Ali Bhai. We are taking you to Bristol as well in very near future. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. আমি সিলেটি ভাষায় কইলাই সিলেটি ভাষায় কই মোহনকু আমরা কারি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিত বহুত আগ থাকিও আছি এবং সুলতানের যে কথা কইছেন যে আমরা সিলেট যেনে কোনোদিনও গরিব আসলাম না আমরা সকল সময়ও আছি একটা জিনিস আমি কইতাম চাই ও কথা আমরারে দরিয়া তুলবার মতো ওখানকু যেরকমর অ্যাটেম্পট নেওয়ার
এরকমের আর কোনোদিন হইছে না আশা করি হইতো 20 স্টল আমরা এক সিটি হিসাবে আমরা সোশ্যাল খাত বহুতটা করছি বহুতটা করলাম এখনো আমরা করলাম আমার টাইটেলটাও আছিল কমিউনিটি ওয়ার্কর লাগিয়া কমিউনিটি ওয়ার্কর লাগিয়া রেস্টুরেন্টের এমন কিচ্ছু নাই কমিউনিটি ওয়ার্কর লাগে কিন্তু রেস্টুরেন্টের সঙ্গে সংযুক্ত একটা ব্যাপার আছে আমি যে সময় আমার অ্যাওয়ার্ড লইতাম যাই রানী আসলা অন্য খান প্রিন্স চার্লসে আমার অ্যাওয়ার্ড দিতেন আমারে তাই প্রশ্ন কররা হাউ ইজ দি কারি ওয়ার গোয়িং কারি ওয়ার মিনস এই সময় আমরা অল্প দামে খেয়ে বেচতাম পারি ওটা লাগাই দিয়েছিলাম আমার মাঝে হাফ প্রাইস আমি না বাড়ায় খতারে না বাড়ায় আমি কইলাম ইট ইজ সুইঙ্গিং ও কথাটাও কইছিলাম তো ও জন্য ব্যাপার আমরার বদনাম রে আমরাও বেশিভাবে প্রচারিত করি সুলতান যে কথাটা কইছেন যে আমরা সিলেট কোনোদিনও গরিব আসলাম না এখনও গরিব না ইনশাআল্লাহ এখনও গরিব আসলাম না আমি সকল সময় এক কথারে হইয়া থাকি আজকে আমরা গাড়ি তো মারতে আইছি হোয়াট বেঙ্গল থিংস টুডে হোল অফ ইন্ডিয়া থিঙ্ক অফ ইট টুমরো আমরা ও জাতি আমরা ও বাঙালি জাতি আমরা ন্যাশনালিটি বদলিছে আমরা রাজ্য বদলিছে আমরা পাকিস্তানি আসলাম বাংলাদেশি তো আসিও এখনো পাকিস্তানিও আসলাম আমরা ইন্ডিয়ানও আসলাম ইন্ডিয়ার থেকে আমরা আইতে কতখান কষ্ট হয়েছে ইন্ডিয়া থেকে বার হইতে ওটাও তো আমি আসলাম এই আন্দোলন আমি করছি কিন্তু ব্যবহার হইল কিতা আমরা আন্দোলনের জাতি এটা কোনোদিনও বলন না জানো আমরা বলতাম না ইনশাআল্লাহ আপনারা হলবালা থাকা আমার লাগে দোয়া করবা
Thank you, Muhammad Ali Bhai, and thank you, your host, and thank you, everybody. I just wanted to say one last word. You know that immigration officer came. I was really upset. I wanted to say we all are Mashuk Mia. And we all are Mashuk Mia. We all are Mashuk Mia. Immigration officers should not look for us. We need to do things so that immigration officers shouldn't come to look for us and our brothers. So therefore, we all are Mashuk Mia. I was going to say in a minute that I am the Mashuk Mia. This is disgrace of our leaders and this government and every government in this country, how they are ignoring this industry. Unless we work together, we will not succeed that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Very humble words, very strong words. Ladies and gentlemen, we are closing up towards the end of the afternoon here. I hope you all have had enough of our speeches. But, you know, every single guest speaker here is a dignitary, somebody that's talking out of passion. They've come from far afield to talk about all this. And there are some young men here standing right in front of me, these 4 young brothers, right? These guys are award winners. These guys got awards for best dressed as well. They're actually 4 brothers who run a restaurant somewhere in Leamington, guys, right? The Millennium Baltic Group. Now, these gentlemen, I had to say it, this is not in my speech, this wasn't there, but these guys are the pioneers in the making. These guys will take our restaurant industry to the next stage and to the next level. Alongside them, there's me and everybody else that's in this room. So I'd like to say a big thank you to these guys for at least showcasing their talents and the way they do their stuff as well. The amazing young men. Thank you. So this is it, guys. We have got no more. I have to say a few sorries. We have got a few guest speakers that we're supposed to have brought on stage, like Councillor Roy Sally. I have Shalim Bhai there as well, and so many other gentlemen that are here. You all deserve a space here. You all deserve a space to say what you want. But we're all very passionate. So without further ado, I want to bring on, again, guys, a title holder, man that does sting like a BM. You know, he definitely flies like a butterfly to me. Muhammad Ali, please come back on stage for the closing speech, and a Q&A will follow, guys. Please stay with us.
Okay. If I can have everyone's attention, please. If I can have everyone's attention, because we are about to end this program. We have probably an hour and a half before the exhibition closes. You are going to have time. I would highly recommend you go back and absorb the staff quarters, the kitchen zone, the booth, the gaffer's table, and immerse yourself in what our parents made. And remember where you are. Remember the space we're in, the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, right? A 150-year-old building that our fathers probably wouldn't even, when they arrived here, they probably thought they're not worthy of cleaning the steps here. They wouldn't have thought they could even get a job cleaning the steps, and now they are venerated on the walls of this building. The 4.2 billion pounds that we contributed to through the restaurant sector goes towards what? Funding cultural spaces like this. So our stories must be in these places. They are working together with the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, who have been very gracious in us being here. We have worked together. There's been challenges, of course, because we are talking about new audiences, new communities. These youngsters here on the front, and my children somewhere there at the back. I want them to grow up feeling like Birmingham Museum Gallery is their building. It's our space. Woody, Jakob, whose building is it? Jakob, my little son over there. I want him growing up not hanging his head in the playground. When people will come to him like they did to me. Oh, Ali's dad owns a curry house. Ali's dad owns a curry house, and I would put my head down because other friends had fathers who were doctors, engineers. And I always say, my dad has a curry house. And what? And what? That's what we need to drill into our children, to go forward in the face of all the negativity we face. A community that's perceived as terrorists or seen as outsiders, they're taking our jobs. They're taking all our jobs. Guess what? You're eating our curry. Right? And this isn't about us and them. Forgive me. Some might misunderstand me reinforcing this idea of us and them. I said ours because we have friends here who are not from the Bangladeshi community. The museum is our friend. There is no us and them. We have to claim spaces because there are people who are waiting for us to claim it. But we just sit back and guess what? It's because Amra monokhorina zaitam dar zaga. Amra ino fartam na ino zaitam. Of course we can. We have and we are. And our children will continue to contribute to British society. So let's smash this myth that we are not welcome. We need to smash it to pieces because guess what? Just saying, oh, in a nice way, you know, we are part of society. It's not going to work. It isn't working. We have to smash this myth that we are not welcome here. We are here, we have been here, and we will continue to be here for hundreds and thousands of years. We ain't going nowhere. Knights of the Raj we have an hour and a half to go, probably less than that now. I need all your support, right? I need every single businessman in this room to step up and say, we will fund arts, we will fund culture, we will fund heritage, museums. Who's going to do that? How many businessmen, and on the live streams that are playing now on LB24, which you can see after, we share that link because what we want to say is that Tikase, no problem, give it to the mosque. We're going to fund humanitarian causes around the world, but what about here? Ita museum ita amra khande tar amra ane zaga diba lagi. They are crying out to give us space. So why are we just sitting back? Why are we limiting our visions and our aspirations by saying, amra daitam fartam nai? Of course we can. So please, businessmen, all of you, all of the catering associations who are watching on the live stream now, all of the catering associations and all of the businessmen who have plenty of money to invest in new restaurants and new businesses and sending money back home abroad. Let's give it back here and make Nights of the Raj happen around every city in this country. Let's get the book going. We have a book lined up. We are talking to TV documentaries, documentary companies who wanted to make the film. Are you telling me the story of my father and your fathers can't be a high-budget movie, a film? We saw, Baji on the Beach and all these other movies. Are you telling me the Knights of the Raj isn't a film waiting to be made? A piece of... And it will be under every national TV channel. We can make it. I've been told it already. I'm not even lying to you. Even a theatre show that can tour, we're already working on it. I'm working with a scriptwriter. You can go into the London theatres. In a Silati Bashar, we can have this in major spaces, not just in the community centres. I'm the community hall, I'm the Masjid Khanda attached is a hall. You know what? We don't need just that. We do need that. But we need to have it in the British Museum, in the Birmingham Museum, in the major theatres, in the major mainstream television. We have our ethnic channels, Tikase, 7, 8, 9, 10, I've lost count now, right? But what about the mainstream? Are we preaching to the converted? I think so. So I'm sorry, I get very carried away, as I mentioned. But it's important because I'm going to stop now. At least half an hour. I'm going to get the last chance to see. I'm going to get photo. We'll take photos. Yeah. Photos we can take upstairs. Everyone take a book, please, from the exit here. And even in the main building, there's some. Okay, thank you for everything. Please. Mom, there you go. I'm there both, but I want to show you on stage, but I'm Islam. Kisu amda amar in our family. Without our mothers, without our mothers and our fathers, we wouldn't even be here today. We wouldn't have the successes, the education they gave us, the financial stability. So please go home, record stories with your parents, with your children, because in 200 years' time, your great-grandchildren will know who these people are. And that's what I do with my family now. Take photos all the time. I know you already do. Photo tulyoka, record horyoka filimo. Kita lagi ekdin ita amra first time. Za abba amar abba loge ami boisi naro. Aro hunchi na tanaro zen kicha arambo hortam ri khosinta hortam ze na ita hunchi boat. On amra first time. Tara jodi takta aro question zikailam ne ze kila asil. Afna ze shoma foila asla. Amara amione zikai. Knights of the Raj has helped many families, Amar family, to know each other. Hopefully your families, Afnara Gorazaiba, Afnegiaro, Kisu, Afnar Hurutan Gof Korba, say please listen to me. I want you to know who I am, because Resiento Trader, Amra Nizor Hurutan Amra Sinchina. Amaraba Raidin Kham Khosila. Khoshna Khorson, sacrifice Khorson, Kinto, Amra chance Milsena, Amizikaitam, the Abba, Afne Kita Khorson, Afne. I'm not lucky. A chance to know my dad. And I'm sure that's the same for many of you. You can go home, and I've said to so many people in the trade, go home and talk to your dads, because I didn't get to talk to him enough. Any one of you, some of you have said, it's helped your relationships with your father. You know, Kwaz, Shalim Bhai, all of you guys that I've recently connected with at the Arrow Network, young guys, you still have your parents. I have my mother here. We've got a chance to go and catch their story and honor them and respect them, the few years they might have left in this planet. Let's honor them and give them that pride to say that someone cares about me and my story. I mean, there's one interview with Manushre. So good to the Dekta, Murabia Holkila, Tora Hoto Kushi Asla, the Exonaya Hoisen, the Sasamara Hoila Hoka, Marafnikila Solcho in Deshaya. You don't know what mental stimulation it provides. They are sitting at home, withering away, watching Bangla TV. Arkunu khamnai, tara gafar asla, kota power asil. Restaurants, ekta duita tinta saita restaurant khorsoin. Kintu one tara, nobody cares for their story at home. They're sitting at home like my father did. And he was thinking, "One to ami bura hoye gisi. One to amake care kore na ami kita korsi." So please, sorry to go on. I apologize, but it's just a little benefits of the eyes from Knights of the Raj. Let it be that you go home and you honor and respect your families and your parents and your children as well. Thank you very much. And I'm Rashab Zagi. We go to.
Guys, you know, what an emotional moment that was for me. I had goosebumps. I'm sure plenty of you had. My wife just entered the room and I've seen some tears walking out. We have to also thank our wives, our families, our children that have actually put us where we are today. Without all their support, moms, dads, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, the wives in particular as well, without all their support, none of us would be where we are today. So guys, again, for everybody that believes in that, please put your hands together for your parents, your moms, dads, your brothers and sisters. And just before the Q&A, I'd like to ask everybody, is there anybody that would like to ask any questions? Otherwise, we can move forward. There is, yeah? Okay, so we'll come to the Q&A in a second. But just before that, this isn't in my script either. But, you know, Muhammad Ali is a man of his own caliber. He's, 20 years almost in the game of